Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today on our channel we have Rahul, who has been my good friend since I was doing my bachelor's in aeronautics. So he'll be joining us. He has a lot of sim experience. He has been flying since FS98. He's doing his PhD currently at Arizona State University. So yeah, it'll be a nice good discussion between us two, and we'll be watching this video that I came across yesterday, which is PMDG NG3 or warmed over NGXU. So this kind of a rant from Ross from FBW FTW channel on what he thinks about this new release of PMDG 737 on MSFS. So first of all, I'd like to thank this guy because I did comment that this is the stupidest video I've ever seen, and he still he told me that he doesn't mind me reacting to his video and posting it on YouTube. So props to him for that. And he has also sent me a message on FB saying that let's go over the details, let's discuss in more detail on Discord and see if we can agree on some things and we can agree to disagree on others, right? And that's a good attitude to have. So yeah, overall basically we're not trying to offend anyone here, any of P3D fans, any of MSFS fans, or any other simulator fans that we would have here on my channel or on his channel. If you think that you want to add to any of the points that we are mentioning or that he has mentioned, feel free to comment it down below, and I'm sure either me or Rahul or probably him, because he'll be watching this video, he might come in and react to this. I don't know him personally, so just a disclaimer before we get into the video. All right, so let's get right into it.
FB Dubs rant incoming. The trouble with the NG3. I've seen all the fanboys out and about doing their thing.
You know, I did not realize that his name has like FBW for the win. I kept on wondering like what his channel name means.
Go read his description of the video. There's something very interesting there. So he's like, MSFS fanboys need not comment, but but then here the thing is, at least you could say that he's a big fan of either the fly-by-wire control system or the fly-by-wire airplane. So the 320. But given by that, I'm kind of not sure. Yeah, is it the fly-by-wire control system?
Okay, so what does it say? Rant on PMDG NG3. Is it groundbreaking? Is it the same? Yeah, I have a comment on this, but I'll hold on.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Dust simulator.
And all Randazzo has shown us so far is dust. So what's up with that? Let's take a deeper look. Here we are in the PMDG forums. And we're going to scroll down. And this is going to be an FB Dubs epic rant. Because look at the dust.
Not just any rant, epic rant.
Epic rant, yeah.
Dust, right? 2 detail interior shots, right? Ooh, detail. It has dust. We carry microfiber cloths. Look at that. This is what he's trying to show you, folks. Dust. Dust Sim 2020.
It's funny. I gotta give him that.
Dude,
he's halfway there to Bill Burr. Just has to add a few F-bombs and he'll be 60-70% of the way there.
Dust Sim 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the difference? There is no difference. There is no difference. Hashtag marketing hack. So what's actually different with the NG3? Let's take a little bit of a deeper dive. I did this on my YouTube stream yesterday while we were in flight, after somebody asked me if I was going to switch to MSFS for the Phoenix. Here we
Dude, look at his setup.
His setup is pretty good, and now tell you, like, the reason why he has that channel is probably because he's an Airbus stan.
What do you mean? What, say that again?
Because reason is because like I was kind of wondering why
you mean
he had the FBW, FTW, like why his channel is named that.
Right.
So I'm kind of guessing that he's a big fan of Airbus, not that he's a fan of the fly-by-wire 32NX.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
This looks like FS Labs, right?
Yeah, it looks like FS Labs.
Here we go.
All right. So, the thought. The question was, am I going to switch as soon as the Phoenix is ready? Well, first of all, cardinal sin. There's no there's no K-Boss for Flight Sim 2020. Doesn't exist yet.
Dude, really?
What does that mean?
So
What is he saying?
He's saying that there's no Boston airport for Flight Sim 2020. Nothing yet.
You know, I'm gonna give 100 points to him for that. It's like, it's not that it's not there, but given the fact that Boston is like one of the most staffed Batastic, or like, I mean, not Batastic, Batsim airports, like with ATC nearly like 12 hours a day. We don't have an
saying
aero
that should have
airport.
been already a custom.
It should have been a handcrafted one in the US update. They didn't do. Listen, I'm kind of biased. I'm a Phoenix guy, so I'm kind of sad that they didn't do Phoenix PHX. The fact that they didn't do Boston is like a travesty. It's like I'm so disappointed in a servo because I'm so partial to airfields that are staffed.
Yeah, I mean, but airports and all,
yeah.
it's going to come in, right?
Yeah, I know.
Is it a deal breaker for the sim
It's
as
not.
a whole?
It's not a. Well, no, it's not. I mean, if it, but let's say let's say you fly online most of the time on commercial jets. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you want high quality ATC and you live in the US, where do you fly to? You start in the East Coast. And in the East Coast, like one of the major airports is Boston. Of course, it's not a deal breaker. It's I think his frustration is, I'd say, I mean, understandable.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, yeah, let's continue.
Flight Tampa is supposedly working on it, but the current add-on for Boston is hot garbage. So, for starters,
is it some Braddock 3D
let's just
or
take
something?
a look. Let's go to the P.
What is it?
So there's this add-on company which makes like they've not really invested too much time in making scenery. Their scenery seems like not a huge step up.
Oh,
from the default.
Braddock. Okay, isn't
Yeah.
there a 737 also from Braddock, which is
Yeah,
like dog
yeah.
shit? Okay.
It's not that good. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not that good. Yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, it's sad, but I guess like I feel like those guys, they must have put a lot of work in. It's just that they were too quick to release, I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, better than Captain Sim, right? Like what Captain Sim
for
did
sure,
is like
yeah.
what I'd say is like absolute dog shit. I mean, they deserve to get dogpiled, especially given their previous history in older simulators. They're the same
Right.
company, right?
Yeah.
And
I
they first-
remember they released just the external model of some aircraft. I mean, it did say in the description that it's only an external model, but then they were charging like $19 or something for it, and
Only the external model.
yeah,
No
just
sounds.
no VC, nothing. I
At
think there
this
were
point,
sounds, but probably
I think they're
default
gonna
sounds.
be trolling people right now. That's what it sounds
I
like,
don't
you know?
Yeah, and imagine like having this on marketplace. There's so many customers now for MSFS, compared to what they had on P3D and X-Plane and
Yeah.
FSX, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's pop in here for 1 second. And all right, I'm logged in. So I want to see. Or no, I need to do this. Let's see. Oh, pages, general discussion. All right, let's see. OC operation, developer update. Entering the home stretch. I just want to show a couple of things here. Did he put some pictures in this? Okay, ready? This is what he shows. Okay, this is what Randazzo shows. Okay. What the hell is different about that? There's nothing different about that. Yeah, it is. You're right.
It's the
Scott,
same
it is
airplane,
Asmodee.
right? So
I mean, so that was my first argument. I think that's something that I have commented also here. That
Right.
I mean, he was kind enough. I said this is the stupidest video I've seen. It is a 737 in a different sim. So what
Yeah.
do we expect to be different, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's so he's going to point to some marble borders here and whatnot, like better texturing and all that. So I mean, I don't even have a problem if they use the same, if they started with the same model that they had on P3D and P3D or FSX, whatever, right?
Yeah.
They must have done that. I mean, why not use the resources that you have from?
Why reinvent the wheels?
Yeah.
Now,
exactly.
if they use the NGX, then I'll have a problem. But they use the NG3, so it's fine.
And the point here is that
Do you remember the NGX? The old one. I mean, I guess the NGX. That was the old one, right?
Yes, yes. And then the NGX-U came out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The NGX was actually not. The systems were kind of good, but I'd still say, you know, the cockpit dimensions were wrong. Like the
Right.
window sizes were big, all of that.
Did they
Like
fix that on NGX-U? I think they did,
yes, yes, yeah. And a lot of the overhead panel looked like it was made out of like, you know,
right? Yeah.
crayons or something, but
And
now
the
it looks
EFB
kind of...
was also added, right? In NGX.
Does this thing have an EFB?
Not yet, but they're going to add it in like first, second updates.
Is it? Okay. Interesting.
So I think the updates are going to roll out. I was watching Randazzo's this thing stream or video. I think one of those I heard that updates will roll out every 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks something.
Okay.
And then each update will have these kind of features getting added, and it will be added to all the models, not just like let's say any feature that's added will not just be added to 700 or 800 or 900. It'll be added to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was a pretty good plan, but
Yeah,
For here,
yeah.
especially if you say something
let's see what he says.
bad. But let's look at this. Ooh, oh, the thing next to the alt intervene has it's marbled. Ooh, look, they have little LED lights in here. Ooh, it's so pretty. Guess what? I can do the same thing right here, right now, in the sim that I'm in, right? Like he was pointing out, you know, dirt on the screens. It's like, dude, guy, just give us global flight. You can't even get ATIS. Ready? Watch this. Guess what you can't do in the PMDG. Ready? Ready? What time is it? Might not have the 1800 weather, but guess what you can't do in the PMDG? This.
Wow, you cannot do
Can't
that
do
in the
in
PMDG yet?
right?
Oh
Yo,
my
but
god.
Does it? So my question is, does it matter?
Yes.
Because you don't have ATSU. So yeah, what's your argument? Like, why does it? Why is it a big deal?
Well, I'll tell you why. So the thing, the idea, there are a few reasons why. Okay, so first is quality of life inside the flight deck. Number one.
If you have
Because-
the EFB, you have everything right there, right?
True. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, let's say you get the EFB, and well, to some extent, it's gonna get solved. The
Right.
next point is systems development and keeping up with some of the freeware folks who develop their own CPDLC kind of, because the fly-by-wire, they have a preliminary version of CPDLC out.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, so when you compare that, just from a competition standpoint, it makes sense to include at least a rudimentary version that's like performance efficient. So
yeah,
these are the two reasons. I mean, if you want a third one, here's one more. Like, I'm not sure. See, I think the Zibo in the X-Plane does not have as detailed ATSU system as, say, the fly-by-wire and the MSFS has. So I'm not sure how much different. Like, it depends on the manufacturer of the FMC. Okay, so like if it's approximately the same, okay. You know, I'm kind of missing out a little bit. You can use it on the EFB, but then the next question is, if you have it on the EFB, why can't you replicate it on the FMS?
right.
You know, because you're not
And that's
programming the
fine,
FMC.
But
right?
then
You know?
again, like ranting about this feature when you already have the weather on EFB and saying that it's a downgraded product from what we have on P3D, I feel like that's a bit too much.
Yeah, downgrade is a bit too much. I agree. Like,
Because I
it's
think that's what he's kind of pointing to, that whatever product you already have on P3D and FSX and whatever sim, this is something which has less features compared to that, and obviously that's sim limitations, and that everyone agrees, right? That is sim limitations. I mean, obviously PMDG doesn't have all the information that they need from Asobo or Microsoft.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
that is
that's
why
fair.
they are lagging on all this. And it's not like they are cheating the audience to
Absolutely.
into buying this, you know, just I mean, they have put in a lot of effort, right? And just getting this into MSFS. Otherwise, it wouldn't have taken like it was supposed to release in 2020, I think, right?
Yes.
2020, sorry. But it took like 2 more years to get all the all the stuff sorted, and now it's releasing finally.
Very
So
fair. Yeah, that's a fair
I feel
point.
like, I mean, just for this feature, when you're going to have it on your EFB later on,
Yeah.
it's a bit too much to rant about.
I guess, yeah. If you have it on the EFB, if you're not if you have the data on the EFB, all you need to do is display the data in a slightly different format over here.
I mean,
Right.
honestly, I never use this function on FBW A320. I
Oh,
usually,
really?
yeah, when I
Okay.
have to get the meta report, I usually just go to the weather, and they've added this new feature in Sim Update, I think 7, right? 7 was the latest one. Yeah.
Yeah. I think 8 was the latest, but it came in the 7.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
the
So
beta,
whatever
right?
the latest one was, they've added it in the weather option. So you can do that, or you can just pull it up on the FBW FM EFB. It shows the values. Like if you don't want to read the meta report, it shows you the direct values of wind, dew point, temperatures, and everything. And you can also view it in terms of text, like what you see here.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's not a big deal at all.
It's not major, but
yeah.
I'd still say, see, the moment you get, again, that again goes back to EFB. Once you have the EFB, you just have to translate the data here. Plus, here's the other problem.
Yeah, I'm not aware if it's that simple, but if it is, then yeah, I mean.
Like, at least, like, unless you want to simulate the internals, like you have the data, right?
Yeah.
So they're not simulating the FMS, are they? I don't know.
I don't
Are they
know.
Yeah, that it depends on that. So there's another factor of CPTLC.
What is the
which,
original? This is the Honeywell FMC, right?
I think it's the Honeywell CDU. Yeah. So it's got to be
Honeywell,
kind of
yeah.
similar. Yeah.
Okay.
It has to be kind of similar.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not a deal breaker. I guess people just used to it. They
Yeah,
added the
that's
Sprinter
the
and shit
thing.
on FBW. Never used it. But
Yeah, I used to until it crashed on me once, and ever since then I was scared to use it.
Okay.
See, listen,
I think there is one on.
you have
on
a
this one
point,
as well, yeah.
but it's just that once an audience get used to something, the fact that it's gone becomes a big deal. Let's say you didn't have shadows anymore. Okay, of course it's not that big, but you know.
No, that is big deal.
Yeah, exactly. See.
That is a big deal.
Yeah. So.
What if you don't have dust on the screen? Oh my god.
Yeah. That's to me. That's not a big deal.
I'm not buying the.
Yeah, it's unflyable now. Trim wheel sounds are slightly off.
Oh, you said that there were no trim wheel sounds, right?
Yeah,
On
yeah. I was
PMDG
kind of
77.
sarcastic when I said it. I was like, "Oh, trim wheel sounds are missing. It's unplayable now, unflyable now. It's like you can't. It's not a buy."
It's one of those things.
Okay.
Okay.
Can't do that. Functionality. Actually, the wind went down 1653, so yeah, no, we need a 1753. But at any rate, you can't do that, and you never mind get it over here, right? Never mind, I
Oh, he
have it
says
here
it.
as well, right? You know, connected A cars and stuff. This is an actual thing. They do have it, A cars to EFB. So he shows this picture, right? He shows this thing, and it's like, well, what the hell's different? You know, I saw the video somewhere, right? Well, let's go have a look at the video even. Okay.
Oh, this
All
is
right,
that. This is that first video that came out.
Is it okay?
I felt like that video wasn't too good. I mean, they could have outsourced the whole video recording thing to some content creator like Sam Van Breda. There's this channel. He makes amazing videos, right? So, I mean, just let them do it.
You mean the Max 737 Fly? Is it that guy?
That guy, or there's another one, Sam Van Breda.
Oh, okay. I don't know him. I don't
Something
know
like
that.
that.
Guy. Okay.
He has like 17K subs, and he makes really good videos. So there are so many people who make these kind of cinematic departure and arrival videos and all that. They could have just done that.
Excuse
That video was
the
dog shit. You'll see that here.
searching here. But I just want to point out
Is
again,
it this one?
we haven't
No
seen
longer
anything
available.
different just yet.
It won't
We haven't
search
seen
it.
anything different to the NGXU as of yet. This is all marketing, pure marketing, and especially the way they're going to release it.
Let's see.
With that being said, I've got a perfectly working
Let's see.
600, 700, 800, 900, 900 ER in my sim already. That's stable.
I was
And it
just
looks
looking at
damn
Explorer.
good. Did I mention, by the way, there's something with the textures at the airports? In
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna ask you this. Why would you buy the PMDG 737 for MSFS if you have it already for P3D? Because I think you do, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not the NGXU.
Oh, so you just have the NG3. You didn't upgrade to...
No, NGX. I don't even.
Oh,
I've not
you
used
have the
P3D
NGX,
in
okay.
years. Like it's
Okay,
been
okay.
ages. So I bought the really old one, like
Got it.
5-6 years ago. But number one, that was first thing, that was from my parents' money. So that's so that apart from that, here's the thing, okay? PMDG is like if I wanted to buy it, first thing platform. MSFS is like clearly the future, at least as of now. I don't know what X-Plane is going to be
Mhm.
bringing in. I invested a little bit in X-Plane, of course, bought some jets from them, the 320.
Yeah, same
whatever.
here. Mostly general aviation, but I did invest quite a bit in
Yeah.
X-Plane 11 when that was booming.
Yeah,
And it
exactly.
seemed like that is the future, right?
Yeah, but now MSFS has a geometric improvement. So
Right, right.
and what would dictate my purchase would be like, this is just specific to me, okay? So it's like I only fly in VR pretty much 80-90% of the time. I want to know, compared to say the Aerosoft CRJ, how much better or how much worse is the MSFS, or compared to the fly-by-wire, how much is the 737 gonna give me in terms of performance at, say, your average crazy airport like JFK or something,
Yeah.
if I can get 30 frames per second in VR without like going too low on the settings, that's a buy.
Yeah. For me, I care about visuals a lot. Obviously, I care about whether the aircraft is study level or not. And that's why, well, study level is a completely relative term. So let's not use that. But whether the aircraft is detailed or not. So even for MSFS, I did not touch MSFS until there was a decent FBW A320 and until there was a decent Just Flight Piper Aero 3 on the sim. Otherwise, there's no point of flying those default aircrafts, right? And I agree with that part, that the sim was just not enough matured, but now it is. And we have just enough detailed add-ons available to jump into it. So that'll be my reason to buy PMDG 737 for this sim. First thing, it's not going to be $99, right? It's going to be somewhere in that 50-60 range probably.
Yeah, I hope
Considering that they are selling all the versions different, 700, 800, and most of the people are going to go for the 700 just because it's coming first, and then the 800. I don't think a lot of people will buy 900.
Yeah, 900 is gonna be the lowest.
Yeah, so if I can get the 700 and 800 for 100, 120, I don't mind spending that much for a sim that's going to be the future, right? Second thing, I have my channel, so if I upload videos of FSX and P3D, PMDG 737 and GXU, no one's going to watch that.
Yeah.
That's another reason, right? And third thing, I know he says it's a downgrade from what we have on P3D, but I don't feel like that. Whatever features are not there, they're going to just bring them back in the updates.
Yeah,
and
the future looks better.
Yeah, it is just going to be as high fidelity as we
if not
had
more.
on. If not more,
yeah.
Later there'll just be more potential. Because on P3D, I've never been able to get this good of a performance with these payware aircrafts, right? I had the Mad Dog Fly the Mad Dog X MD-80, right? Again, I didn't have good performance on P3D. 737 used to also do like 25 to 30 FPS, somewhere around there. And
was this in prepared?
Yeah.
Okay.
With my current hardware at 2K, right?
Wow.
And stuttery all the way. Like it used to stutter like crazy.
Blurries were worse.
Exactly. And now Phoenix is claiming that they can have their payware, which is much more detailed than the FBW A320, perform better than the FBW A320 in terms of frame rates. So I'm assuming that from what I've seen on the streams, I don't see any performance issues. Cockpit VC performance issues on MSFS with PMDG 737. So that's another reason. Like, just overall, the performance is better. There's much more room for improvement on the sim. The add-on developers have a lot more room to play with, both in terms of scenery add-ons and in terms of aircraft add-ons. So it's all green lights for me, man.
Yeah, and how much do you bet that Lockheed Martin is going to bring in deep learning super sampling to this thing, DLSS to the platform?
Why?
You know?
I mean,
Why
I don't know.
They're not going to do that.
Yeah, do
Like,
they
you
even
know,
have the incentive to do it now that
no,
MSF
their
is selling
their
so
customer
much?
base is different. It's basically industry and, like, you know.
Right. Industries. Yeah. Here we have people buying the simulator on Steam.
Yeah.
It's exposed to a lot more audience than P3D and FSX was ever exposed to.
Yeah, the only reason you wouldn't buy is if you have like over like a couple of grand or a grand or something invested in the previous platform, then it starts to feel like, what did I put all of this money
exactly
into?
And why do I spend 120 more on this different sim which I had already bought for $120?
And
So
look at his setup. I mean, he doesn't really care about the fact that
that's what I feel about so I think where he's coming from is he has kind of spent quite a lot of money on P3D. I think that's what he's using now.
Yes.
And he just doesn't see enough incentive of upgrading for maybe $1 or $2 grand more. And, you know, spending on all these new add-ons and that's the point that he's making, that it's the same thing. But he doesn't understand that now this sim is exposed to so many people that it is a no-brainer for any company to bring in all of their add-ons that they had on P3D onto this sim if they actually want to make money.
Yeah.
Like,
Not sure what FS Labs, are they doing that, or Majestic?
I haven't heard.
Yeah, it's strange.
It's all small teams, right? So you can't really expect them to react so soon. I guess that's what's stopping them. But then Fly the Mad Dog, this thing is almost ready. MD80 is almost ready for release.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. I think the NDA is also out, so people are posting screenshots and videos.
Is that Just Fly or something? Which is it?
No, this is the company's name is Fly the Mad Dog X.
Fly the Mad Dog. Okay, I've never heard of it. Okay.
Oh, sorry, it's Leonardo.
Oh yeah.
Sim.
Oh yeah. I've heard about that. Yeah.
It's a really good one actually. I have it for P3D.
Right.
Yeah, it's one of the most detailed aircrafts for P3D, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so where was I? Yeah, so this sim is exposed to so many people that the market has opened up. So I think this is a no-brainer. I don't know why A2A hasn't jumped on it yet. I feel like they will soon.
Yeah. Agreed.
MSFS that doesn't work.
All right.
It's less than P3D is the resolution on the ground.
Yada, yada, right?
I will look that up and get back to you in this.
What is he saying about ground textures?
No, wait. I just want to say one thing. There seems to be a little bit of feedback. What do you hear double voice somewhere?
No, that's because he is speaking on stream and then he is recorded on.
Oh, okay. So you're also hearing that double thing, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's the video.
Okay.
He hasn't turned the volume down for stream, I think. But yeah, he's saying that the ground textures are worse for MSFS compared to P3D's mesh.
I don't quite know where he's getting, because I think the meshes.
Yeah, maybe I need to see like
depends
what
on the
he
DEM
has seen
data, right? Depends on the DEM data. I mean, one would expect that, like, by default with like Microsoft's resources, the DEM data is usually better, which makes the mesh better. But then there was some issues of like rounded mountaintops and shit like that, you know. So
I don't know if it's just the mesh that he's talking about, or
but you gotta spend $60 to get that kind of higher quality mesh prepared, right? Otherwise, it's pretty. It's I don't know.
It's all bland. Does P3D does have sloped runways and all that, right?
I think they brought it in V5.
They brought it in, yes. Yeah, I remember. But yeah, I don't know. I might have to see what he's pointing at here.
So
but
I guess maybe it's the ground.
It's
possible that the ground textures are slightly worse. Like, you know, in airports. Let's just play. Let's see what he says. You know?
Yeah, let's see what he says.
Video with
Let's
that
just look at this for a
feature.
second, okay?
As the slide details its projected mesh.
Okay, I see a 737. Okay, yes, it's shiny. It has bloom. Right? I don't know why that's super duper. Maybe I need to show it and... Okay, it's getting pushed back. I can do that. My sky actually looks better in my opinion. Why is that doing that at such a slow speed? Did I click?
Did you hear?
His sky looks better. What does that mean?
So he's saying that his sky looks better on his sim, like his
Prepared?
on prepared compared to what he's seen here.
That's a very interesting.
Remember we were talking about this that MSFS is too hazy and too
hazy?
not hazy, I would say, but washed out looking during the
Yeah.
day.
Oh,
like
you mean the
noontime.
color balance, right? It was
Yes.
like too overexposed.
Yeah.
I guess somehow. Very powerful blues.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's like a balance of like too much saturation, less contrast. You know?
Too much saturation. I don't know. I think it's less less contrast. Yeah, that I would
Less
agree.
contrast for sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
Because on
Something by
my
accident.
VR headset, like the display panel is LCD, I guess. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, should be LCD panels. With that, with the pixel density and the color, the range of the colors, right? The dynamic range is going to be like way less than the overall range of the colors is going to be lower than the monitor.
Hmm.
So before this OpenXR toolkit came out, it used to look quite washed out. But with the new Open Beta 3 of the OpenXR toolkit, I just reduced contrast by 2 points and it made a world of difference.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Or is it just... But at any rate, let's... I just want to get into the flight deck. Okay. Engines... Same? Same?
I mean, it is the same. As I don't like what it's the same
Yeah,
aircraft.
it's the same airplane. What do you mean?
Yeah,
You
the
want
screen's
like-
an engine mount at the back?
Yeah,
It's not
that's
practical.
the part I did not.
I don't know why this is playing at like 2 frames a second. I just would like to get into the flight deck. Here we go. Okay. Scotty, you're a big NGXU. This is Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is MSFS right here. What do you see that's different from what we have already? Okay? Nothing. You can switch, you can switch over things. One of the guys had it best, right? One of the guys had it best, and I believe, I can't remember which thread it was. I'm going to find it right now. Right? I'm going to find this.
So this guy says 737-800 in 2023. I think this is the post where he declared his 6-week thing, right? Like 800 will release 6 weeks after 7, and then 6 weeks after 8 will come 9.
Thread because
Well,
Mike
I
Static
mean,
and I had this
he's
discussion
kind of frustrated
just
that
today,
the
like
next model is
hours
going to
ago.
come only
Yeah.
next year, I guess, right?
Yeah.
This
Okay.
was LNAV update. Okay. People are looking for the LNAV update the PMDG's been talking about for frickin' years, right? Here it is, right? And I'm just going to go back to this video for 1 second. Scotty, look at this picture. What is different? What's different? Tell me what's different. 60s to the 70s with the push of a button. Yeah. Okay. I can do this already. I can certainly do this already. I can change the autopilot as well. Like, there is nothing new here. Except that maybe the shape of the HUD. Okay? I mean, literally, guys.
The
It's
wings
the
look
same
better, but I
exact-
mean, I'm coming from NGX. So, the last I've seen of the 737 from PMDG.
I don't think there's any difference in the base model at all, because they had nailed it at the start.
Mhm.
So I don't
Okay.
feel like they would have changed anything. Maybe the
I guess
views.
no, it's just the MSFS
Yeah.
graphical engine, which makes the wings look so much better.
And it's
Like I
the
think
FOV
the Chewy
and
94,
angles.
who's that guy?
Yeah, Chewy 94.
Yeah, his Southwest, set of legs. It was
Mhm.
amazing. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you saw that stream,
Wing-
the first
Yeah,
one?
yeah. The wing views were totally awesome. Like especially out of flying out of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
It was really
People
good.
were saying that there's a lot of flex and all. Like
Mm.
it, but I didn't feel like that. I mean, whenever I fly, I usually see the tips moving just that much. So I
Okay.
thought it was pretty accurate. People were saying
Right.
it's too much.
Oh, okay.
Plane. I mean, for crying out loud, they're using P3D to debug it. But I want to see this here.
It's the same code base, right? So,
Someone is calling him from. Are you coming or no? Getting yelled at.
Right? Meanwhile,
Hey, what was that?
still waiting on
Still
PMDG
waiting.
for. Is that Global Flight
the-
Ops?
Yeah, that and the LNAV fix.
right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this is what I think about PMG right here, right? Still waiting on Global Flight Ops, right? But Air Badger, I think his name is, right here. Shiny new red fire handles. Yeah, there's no difference from the P3D version. They're using P3D to debug the thing. For crying out loud.
Again, I mean,
They put
I don't have any problem if they do that. I mean, do
Yeah.
whatever you can and bring the freaking add-on in.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of a tug of war between those who want the product to be released fast, or do you want it to go delay by another year or so? No,
No, I mean, not even that. He's just saying that they're using P3D to debug it. So what? I mean,
it's smart,
yeah.
because
The
I think they must have
NG3
everything on C++, and then it's gonna be like you just call those things, and it's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be something. Yeah,
There might be common background codes that will be probably easier to debug on P3D, and they might be doing that, I guess.
smart.
for
Credit to them.
FS 2020 or MSFS, however you want to categorize that, into P3D for the debugging. Right, functionality is the same. What's the difference? There is no difference. That's my point, right? They might have I think they said they were going to do a Class 2 EFB versus more like the OPT tool that Jason uses. So that covers the PMDG for now, right?
So with that all being said, we talked about the PMDG, the NG3, and the lack of difference between the NG3 and the NGXU. PMDG, since, if I remember correctly, it was either FS Expo 2018 or 2019 that Randazzo first talked about global flight ops, which seems to be vaporware. Allegedly, it's in beta testing.
I gotta give it to him. He is an avid flyer. It probably has like a ton of hours on me.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't fly
He's
as
got
much.
really good hardware
He
to back
is
it up.
kind of invested into it.
Yeah, gotta give it to him. I mean, it's a lot of passion that you can see.
It
from
is,
the
yeah.
Video.
I mean, look at his setup and
Yeah, respect for
But
that.
just the other
actually.
day, he said, well, it's in C++, so it won't work in MSFS. Apparently because of the way the code is, and then MSFS can't send external code or read external code. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's in the PMDG forums if you really want to take a look. But to conclude, the NG3 is nothing but a warmed over, debugged in P3D version of the NGXU. They put some dirt on the screens. They made it shinier. It's in the new toy. Maybe it'll work on Xbox even. Dirt on the screens. Sure, you can get some texture mods perhaps. I know there's one out there for the yoke for sure. If you want it for PMDG. I know you can do it for the FS Labs. There's a couple different mods for the FS Labs.
does he mean mods for Dust?
I think so. VC texture mods or something.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Why don't they have SimBrief integration? Why don't they have...
Okay.
Good
so-
question. Good question.
No. Hold on.
Wait,
So
yeah.
SimBrief integration. So What do you understand when he says SimBrief? Because initially I thought that, oh, you just can't import flight plans like you do on FBW A320, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
thinking.
all you have to do is download a file, put it in the flight plans folder, and you
Yeah.
type in that in your core out, which is, I feel like it is much more realistic. I think what he means by SimBrief integration is probably like have all of that on EFB or something. But if he means just the flight plans part, I feel like that's too much to pick on, because you can literally download a file for vPilot and you can download a file for this thing, put it in your flight plans folder from documents PMDG. I was watching the video. It is capable of doing that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, because that's all we need. We just and there's this thing called SimBrief downloader, right? So what I do for my flights is I use this thing called Volanta, and then I plan my just arrival, departure, then flight number and equipment. Then you say SimBrief file flight plan. Then once
I've
it gives
seen
you that,
Chewy use Volanta. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have SimBrief downloader.
Right.
So it'll export automatically to all of those destination files.
Oh,
so
perfect. So then that's...
Yeah, and then beyond that, all you need to do is enter the flight plan name, right? The company flight plan.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even have a problem just individually downloading it and putting it on, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you have to do is enter that core out and you'll have all of it imported in your thing. But then when they have the EFB done, I mean, what all will they have in EFB, right? They have to have the SimBrief and Navigraph in EFB.
Yes.
Otherwise, what is it? What will it be used for?
Just opening doors.
So again, yeah. Maybe fueling, opening doors, and then third page would be Navigraph. Pretty typical.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't feel like this point is
the ability to
not as
go
valid,
into the
because what
CDU
you had to pay
and get
for
weather.
in what you had to pay for back in Prepared, I feel like I'm not sure if everything is free in Prepared right now, all of these EFB stuff, because there used to be external kind of lot of software that had to work in concert with P3D, but a lot of it is integrated within MSFS right now, so it makes it easier.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think one of the points that he was making, I don't know, on comments or somewhere in this video, like, why do I have to download 3 flight plans? And one for vPilot, one for PMDG.
That's not PMDG's problem.
But then, yeah, you solved it, right? Volanta and whatever that SimBrief downloader.
Yeah.
Into the CDU and get weather and ATIS. The Mad Dog has it. The FS Labs have it. Hell, even the fly-by-wire A320neo mod has it. It's not hard. It's 2022. When I fly a flight in P3D, I have to download 4 separate files
there you go.
for a flight on VATSIM and the PMDG. When I fly the FS Labs or the Mad Dog, I only have to download 1 to 2 files. Right? FS Labs 1, Mad Dog I think is maybe 2. PMDG's 4. That's including a vPilot route. They could do a lot better, right? The LNAV update, he just says, oh, paging Dr. I can't remember his name. You know, the guy that's been working on it for centuries. PMDG's a business. They're running their business how they see fit. That's fine. But to post pictures of dust and then get excited about dust? Come on, Robert, you're better than that. You're way better than that. So to conclude here, guys, spend your money if you want, but if you have P3D, you've already got a better plane. You're not going to have a weather radar on launch. Sure, it'll be added down the line.
Yeah, I mean, he says it.
Yeah, in the end, he's making that point. It's just that the rant goes in so many directions that those points just don't make sense individually.
Yeah.
But then I think what he's saying is, if you're satisfied with P3D, is there a point of buying MSFS? And that's fine. I mean, but then...
Well, I'm going to ask you this question. Okay, let's say you're 25. I mean, let's just split this by demographics. Let's say you were a 25-year-old versus a 35-year-old with a stable job and all that. Now, let's say if you're 35 and you've been on the P3D train for like 10 years now, you've spent a lot of money on it. You bought all of the expensive add-ons, including the, the
Yeah, it'd
big
be really hard
RX.
to make the shift then.
Would you make the shift?
That would become a difficult question. So yeah.
It's difficult, I guess. Like it's because
But the point where MSFS is at this point, I would bank more towards making the shift than not.
right. Yeah, that's kind of the thing, right? So it might be like a 60-40 decision towards MSFS for
Yeah.
you then in that case.
And
I
then
agree.
the more it develops, it just goes on, right? 70-30, 80-20.
For me, VR is a game changer, dude. Like, I'm not sure how good the implementation of VR is on P3D, like, but X-Plane, obviously, at this point, X-Plane VR implementation is really good.
Yeah.
But MSFS is getting there.
Yeah, but the thing is, if he's happy with this whole setup that he has and how P3D looks, overall the world looks,
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
he might have invested in Rex, Active Sky,
Mhm.
like
Yeah, there have been new products since I stopped using
yeah,
Fluid, like
numerous
5 years.
airports. From what it seems like, he's also big into having specific airports in the sim. So
Mhm.
I'm sure he has a lot of airports too. So I guess
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it makes sense, but then it doesn't make sense to give shit to PMDG for that, because they are just trying to make money off of this new sim,
Yeah.
which has a lot more customer base compared to the old sims had, and they have also seen that their sales on P3D has dropped by like 90%.
Exactly. It's
He had
a
mentioned
sane
it somewhere.
business
I'm
decision.
not just making the number up. He has mentioned it in one of the streams that since I think
90%. Wow.
since MSFS has started blooming, their sales, they have seen that their product sales on P3D has reduced by 90%. So that's insane, right? I mean, they have to survive somehow. So what is the best way to do it?
Yeah, it's not
Just
like they're
bring in-
hobbyists.
Yeah, exactly. People's full-time jobs are dependent on that company. So
Yeah.
the best thing they could have done is bring in the airplanes that they already have for the other sims into MSFS.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like people might like have a lot of hate on PMDG for their pricing and all of that, but man, like all of these big add-on developers who've made it big from small, I guess,
Yeah.
and they employ full-time folks and manage to pay them well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
If
I
they
mean,
do.
sure, they can do better than what they're doing right now, and they have promised to get in the updates. So I feel like he's making a good point by himself, but not doing right by, I guess, I shouldn't say shitting on Randazzo, but somewhat shitting on Randazzo for bringing in a product that's already there in another sim.
Yeah, that's not fair, is it? You know? Yeah.
But it's still incomplete. You don't have SimBrief integration, which is easy for them to do. You don't have the GSX integration. You have PMDG trucks.
Dude, look at those landing lights. Atrocious, right? Stop. And if he watches this, he's probably going to say that, oh, look at these guys. They care about visuals so much. But
Well, I mean, once you're used to the visual, like,
yeah, right? You can't
know,
just go back.
it's a quality of life thing,
Yeah.
Don't know if Global Flight Ops will fix that. You still don't even have the LNAV update, which
Gotta give
they're
him
going to
kudos to
supposedly roll
Flair.
out.
Nice
And can
landing.
Oh, yeah. He has been doing like -108, -119.
Minus 200. 200 is great. I mean, the flare and
Minus
he's not
200.
over flaring.
I saw
pretty
like 4
cool.
landings, and all of them were insane.
Yeah, I like the way like he has the. I have a video which I've not released yet with the side stick cam on the VR. I think it was a 321. I was flying in VR. I might release it soon. It's on my hard drive. I've never really found the
Yeah.
time to edit it. But yeah,
Editing is a pain.
yeah.
Can we just talk for 1 second about how they mailed it in with the 777-200? No cockpit update for that. Supposedly
Oh, I
that's
love
going to
the
come
camera shake.
when they work on it
That's
for...
one more thing, right?
That's
Camera
EZ,
shake is.
that's EZCA, right?
Yeah. That's the old one. Yeah.
Yeah.
EZ camera. or
Easy
something.
dock.
Yeah. Easy dock. Yeah, Easy dock camera.
I don't know when that's coming, but
They have FS realistic, which is like partly there. I guess people who use 2D display, they can get that.
Oh, nice.
And
Okay.
yeah, yeah, FS realistic. It's not, all of it is not there. It's not as good as this, but it's still something, you know.
MSFS. But people have spent a ton of money for PMDG products over the years, and there's other products that are way better than them. FS Labs being one, Mad Dog being another. But here we are in 2022 getting excited about dust. Come on now, folks.
He has gone too hard on PMDG. That's
Yeah.
what I would say.
Yeah,
For-
he's gone too hard on him. I mean,
I
he
mean,
made
if he
some
loves
decent
P3D,
points,
that's
but
it.
yeah,
If
that's
he
the only
loves-
thing I can get out of it. Is like, if you're too invested in P3D, it's
Yeah,
not
just
obvious
don't get
that you
it.
have-
That's fine, right?
Yeah,
If you're happy
exactly.
with the ground textures and how the world looks, I mean, who
Yeah.
cares? Just fly, keep flying on P3D. It's the same
Yeah.
aircraft. No one disagrees. It's the exact same. Probably some few features less here and there, which I think a normal user, let alone a normal user, I think even people like me who fly for making videos or just casually fly sometimes won't see that big of a difference there.
Because there is a kind of like, listen, first up, there's a kind of simmer who buys like an airplane priced at maybe 70 bucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
That guy is definitely gonna look for the ATSU if it's available on the fly-by-wire.
Yeah.
So just based on that. But of course, the general audience, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people who bought MSFS don't even use the fly-by-wire. I've seen many YouTubers use the default 320, and they fly in the external view. So it's like,
External view with all those
yeah, the gauges.
overlays, right?
Man, that looks like
Yeah.
cancer. Tell you what.
But yeah, anyways, it was a good discussion, man. Thanks a lot
Yeah,
for
yeah,
joining in.
absolutely.
Alrighty, guys, if you guys stayed up until this point, thank you so much for watching it all the way, and I hope you had a good time listening to this discussion. So Rahul, he has flown way more on any simulator with VATSIM compared to me, so I respect him a lot in this subject, and that's why I wanted to bring him in here. And yeah, I just hope you enjoyed the discussion. We have a lot of good stuff coming in, a lot of not just PMDG 737 content, but we also have another surprise coming in, I think next week or the week after. So stay tuned for that. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I will see you on the next video. Thank you and happy flying.